Welcome back to V8 Creative and the final episode of the Ultima RS build, and what an episode I've got in store for you. We maxed the beast out. We have onboard footage and also drive-bys, but most importantly, the breaking news is the beast is for sale. Welcome back to the Dean Den and the completed V8 Creative Ultima RS. In my eyes, the perfect driving machine. Her styling is just jaw-dropping. Performance is off the scale. And that soundtrack is just seismic. It's insane. So keep tuned if you want to see a bit of this. Or a bit of this. And of course, we mustn't forget about a bit of this. I love doing those bits. Anyway, let's get on to the breaking news. I have decided to sell my dream. That may sound a bit unusual to a lot of you, but I am more of a builder than a driver, even though every time I get behind the wheel of this thing, I'm in two minds. But no, I need to make room in the Dean Den and also fund my next project. So if you haven't got the inclination to build one of these beautiful machines, or the patience to wait 3 or 4 years for a factory turnkey example, this could be in your garage within the week. Yes, it could. So I think the next thing we need to do is go over to the Dean Den study and talk business. Well, now we're settled in the study, let's talk business. But first, what I'd like to do is raise a glass and say thank you to all of you out there for supporting the channel. You've made it possible for me to build and drive my ultimate dream car, and it hasn't disappointed in any way whatsoever. Also, I'd like to say a big thanks to the Ultima factory because they have seriously helped me on this journey, and also all my sponsors. So cheers and thank you very much. That's good stuff. So, how do you buy this car if you're tempted? Well, here is my email. And what I'd like you to do, if you're interested to discuss, just ping me a mail. And in that mail, you can put your telephone number or ask me questions. And at the end of the day, let's chat. If we agree on a number, this could be in your garage within the week. I can do the deal remotely. I don't mind helping shipping overseas if necessary. So here's the email, just drop me a line and let's chat. So what are you getting? Well, the Ultima RS is the pinnacle of Ultima sports cars at the moment. It is the top of the tree. And this example, the Beast, is 4 months old. It's done less than 1,000 bedding in miles. So in all intents purposes, it's a brand new car. And it's ready to go. Turnkey, it's just ready to go. Now, when I built this car, I wanted to build it as a pure Ultima. What does that mean? I bought every single component to build the car from Ultima Sports. And every single component is new. Every single nut and bolt. So what you're seeing here is a pure Ultima in my eyes. Now, as regards upgrades and options, when you build one of these cars, there are so many options and upgrades. However, I've basically ticked all the upgrades, and as regards options, I've gone for practically every single one. And we're talking about dozens and dozens and dozens. And what I'm going to do later is give you a guided tour around the Beast. And for those of you thinking of building an RS, I'm going to tell you the options and upgrades I feel are essential, because not all Ultimas are the same. Now, clearly, this has got a bit of provenance with it. It's probably the most famous Ultima RS in the world. And with 2.3 million views of the channel so far and growing daily, it will continue to be so. So along with the car, I'm giving you all the YouTube footage in digital format, a digital library of images, and also I've actually created an owner's manual. So a stamp service history, I can't help myself. But anyway, again, if you're interested to discuss purchasing the beast, just email me. So what we're going to do next is we're going to move over to the Dean Den again. Well, actually, I am in the Dean Den, it's just over there. And let's do a guided tour of the beast to understand what options and upgrades I've chosen. If that's not your cup of tea and you just want to see me, give it some, here's timestamp. Just go there and hold tight. Cheers. Now, specifying an Ultima RS can be a little bit of a minefield. Yes, the factory will help you, don't worry. But the reason is there are so many options and so many upgrades. And I must say, the V8Creative Ultima RS practically ticked every single box. And that is probably why it just looks so astonishing. And also, it's got an uncanny resemblance to the demonstrator. So let's go through each area in turn. Bodywork colour, white. The most popular colour actually, and I think the reason is white matched with high gloss carbon fibre is just very clinical. It's very modern, it's very sharp, and it suits the car down to the ground, especially the LM lines that swoop across its entire length. It's just very, very purposeful. Next, there are a couple of options for the bodywork itself. The roof scoop. Well, of course you need the roof scoop for two reasons. One, it is a piece of bodywork that's only on the RS, and this really distinguishes this body shape from any of the other previous models. Also, it is functional. It forces air through into the induction system within the engine compartment and then forces it straight into the air filter housing. Now, part of this option is also a divider that goes on the radiator exit, and what that does is that divides the hot air either side of this scoop, so you make sure you suck in the coldest, highest density air to get the maximum horsepower out of your V8. So that's the bodywork options, but there is one upgrade I didn't choose. Yes, shark gills, that's what I call them. Now these, you have the option, you can go for standard, which is bodywork colour, that's what I've gone for, or you can upgrade to carbon fibre. Now yes, carbon fibre is seen as like the pinnacle of any material, especially on the RS. And actually, I've ticked every other carbon fibre option and upgrade you can on this model. But I just thought having 4 black patches in the middle of the wheel arches would interrupt the styling. So therefore, I went for the bodywork colour. Now, if we start at the back of the car, let's just look at all the carbon aero upgrades. To start with, we have the dual element rear wing, and my word, it is just a monster of a wing. And it's adjustable. And I find it quite amusing when I take people out, I say, I've got the Monza set up for today, or I've got the Monaco set up. It just depends if I want to go fast or get extra traction. Now, with this option, there is an upgrade, and that's the end plates. Now, the end plates come as standard, which are flat, which is the same as what you get on the Evo, or you can go for curved end plates, which I've done here, which is deemed an upgrade, and I'll put a picture up there so you can see them. Next, we have the rear diffuser. Now the rear diffuser, when you're in the car, you can't really see it, but for those people coming up behind you, only in traffic, because it's the only time they'll catch you up, it looks very purposeful, and it just balances out this large block of carbon at the top of the car. Now, let me move the camera. Right, I'm trying to get in shot here. Sorry about the crouching down. So on the side of the car, there are several carbon fiber options. First of all, there's these huge ducts on the side of the car, and they have this NACA profile, that's what it's called. And what this does is this forces air into the engine compartment to ensure you're keeping that V8 cool. But to be honest, it's just beautiful anyway. Even if it's blanked off, I buy them. And then we have what's known as the side splitters. Now these side splitters are profiled to follow the bodywork. And on the end here, we have these small wings that are called vortex generators. Next, we have wing mirrors. Now on the RS, you have three options. You can have the wing mirrors that sit up on the door pillars that are in gel coat to match the bodywork. Or you can have those same wing mirrors finished in carbon fiber. Or if you splash the cash, you can have these beautiful items that have been designed specifically for the RS. They are lovely, and they even fold. Look at that. And actually, I must say, that is very, very useful when loading the car onto trailers. Next, we have these beautiful sculpted carbon fiber vents. Now, these are to allow the cooling air from the brakes to exit down the side of the car. Now, this example, my RS, was the first private built example to have this as an option because it was introduced later in the model's history. Now, to complement this, we have carbon fiber vents at the front of the car that sit on top of the splitter, another option. Next, we have the front splitter, and I appreciate you can't really see it here, but it's the largest piece of carbon fiber on the RS, and it is a significant upgrade to the standard car because that comes with just a flat splitter, and this is fabricated from full carbon fiber. It's got vortex generators on the side to match the side splitters, and it really complements the front of the car significantly, and to me this is another must. And then next we have here what's called dive planes. These are beautiful bits of kit, and they just attach to the bodywork here. Right, you're probably getting a feeling why I said it can be a bit overwhelming with the options. There's more to come yet. Okay, on the outside of the car, we haven't got in the interior yet, there is also the grille set, and what that does is matches all the apertures in the bodywork with hex powder coated grills, and they are beautiful. Interesting fact here, earlier models of the Ultima, the Evo and the GTR had 3 vents on the back. The RS has 4. There you go, now you know. Right, what I also did is I went for the vinyl pack, and what that does is that changes the look of the car significantly. And I'm just going to put a picture up there of an RS without this vinyl kit, and you'll see it looks completely different. Personal taste, I get it, but this, in my opinion, makes the car look lower, wider and more aggressive. Other options I've gone for: fuel fillers, obviously Ultima branded, also front tow hook, which is a piece of art. Okay, she's not going to break down on that. I haven't got it for that reason, but what it does is it just reminds us of the racing pedigree behind this car. Now, even though not an option, these wheels, the forged alloys fitted on this car, are just a piece of art. And they come in several colours, and I've ordered mine the same colour as the demonstrator. Why not? And there you have it. There are probably a few more options that I've just sort of forgotten about. But anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to jump inside the beast, and I'm going to do the same with the interior. Welcome to the interior of the RS. And what an interior it is. What an environment to drive in. You do feel like you're in Le Mans. Believe it or not, this is a fully spec'd interior. I've gone for everything in here. So let's go through things one by one. To start with, the dashboard is covered in leather that has contrasting red stitching. I've chosen red to go with the seat belts and also the AP Racing brake calipers. Now, also, you'll see the roll bar is trimmed to match. That's quite an expensive upgrade, but it just adds that smell of leather to the interior. Next, instrumentation has to be analog in an Ultima. It just has to be. And of course, I just love watching the needles dance around, especially when I'm going through the gears, the rev counter going between 4 and 6.5. It's just brilliant. With the instruments, I've gone for the upgrade for the oil temp. That's an extra gauge. And while we're on the dashboard, engine start button, and then also the rear canopy latching system. And these tell you if you've got that back canopy bolted down before you leave. Now, if we look around a bit more, we've got carpet on the floor, carpet on the rear bulkhead. This is the passenger footrest and also the billet pads to go on the pedals. It's an option. Ultima seats, an option. And I've gone for the 2-inch wide racing belts, 6-point. And I must say, this is the first car I've had with 6-point harnesses. And they're really, really comfortable. Ultima steering wheel, Raptor controls. Now, I've also gone for all the carbon options, which are the sills and also the center console, which then covers this beautiful gear shift here. And I must say, this interior is perfect. No stereo, no speakers, no sat nav. It is just functional. So, next thing to do, let's go back and open the rear clamshell and have a look at that 6.2 litre V8. So welcome to the business end of the Ultima RS. Now this is where big money has been invested, but it's been invested wisely. To start with, the 6.2 litre V8, a brand new LS3 from Chevrolet Performance. Not overstressed, completely standard, but if you want to get that up to about 650 horsepower, it's basically heads, new cam, a remap on the ECU and a slightly larger throttle body. So the potential there is huge, but to be honest, this thing is just cataclysmic the way it is. It is mated to a brand new Porsche 996 gearbox, 6-speed manual, which is shifted by cables. Now, other than that, with this engine install, we have Ultima's exhaust system, which is ceramic coated to keep heat down within the engine bay. We also have the induction system, which allows air to be forced through this scoop, down this channel and directly into the air filter. Also, you can see here we have the 6-pot AP Racing calipers front and rear with huge brakes, the Nitron upgraded shock absorbers, and as regards the engine, we have the breather kit that's fitted and the full fuel system and cooling system as specified by Ultima. So to enhance the engine, what I've done is just added a dress-up kit. Now these are just cosmetic items, but I have changed the rocker covers for aluminium cast items which have been powder coated to match the AP Racing calipers. Coil pack relocation system using MSD 8.5mm spark plug leads that are also red. And then I've had this beautiful cover, this one-off, designed and fabricated for this car that also has the hexagonal mesh in it. And oh look, there's a plaque there showing it was built by me. So this installation is reliable, it doesn't overheat, it's simple, it is ferociously fast, and what a noise, what a noise. So there you go. Let's close her up and go back to the study. Yes, this is the part of the episode you've all been waiting for. Me putting the V8Creative Ultima RS through its paces. Now I must say, the limiting factor here is definitely not the car, it's me. It's the courage I had. But anyway, what I've done is I've pulled together a few scenes. And the scenes will have an introduction to tell you what they're about. So the first scene I'm going to share with you is the first time I drove her without that 3000 rev limit. Now I can go up to 6,700 RPM and absolutely balls out. What was it like? Well, strap yourself in, pour yourself a beer and just watch. How was that? I tell you, when I got home after shooting that scene, my wife thought there was something wrong because I sat down, poured myself a big drink and didn't say anything for about half an hour. You probably saw when I was driving, I was so serious. I wasn't really smiling. I wasn't talking to camera. I was 100% focused on what I was doing. And that's because when you're driving a supercar, especially one with zero driver aids apart from this, which is the best driver aid, you need 100% focus. And also you need to drive defensively. It's like being on a motorcycle. So the next scene I'm going to share with you, right. So I've taken her out a few times now, so I've got a bit more comfortable with laying on the power and all that stuff. Now the next thing I want to do is understand what happens when she breaks traction in a controlled manner. I'm not talking about going around a corner, mad speeds, because that's unsafe on public roads. What I'm talking about is when you maybe sort of press that right foot a bit too hard to, accidentally, because remember, there's no traction control with this thing. What happens when those rears light up? Because they will, of course they will. So anyway, you'll see I'll pull out of a junction and I floor it fairly hard, bone dry on the road, and you'll see, and you'll hear, you won't see, you'll hear the rears spin up. And all I do is I immediately go into higher gear, go again, happens again, and then I go again. Now what that shows you is, or actually taught me, was that if they do lose grip, they lose grip in a straight line, which is fantastic because that Porsche transaxle is behaving superbly. It is behaving in a way which I can predict. Now, of course, if you're on loose gravel and stuff, other things can happen, but it is good to know. So let's go to that scene and you just enjoy another balls outrun, but this time a bit heavier with the right foot. Cheers. Pour yourself another beer and strap in. That was just insane. I'm shaking. Jeez. What a weapon this is. It wheel spins in third gear, no problem. Wow. I need a drink of the caffeine type. Wind her up again. What a machine. Actually, but what a pussycat. Because to be honest with you, the first time I lost traction, if you notice on the steering wheel, I was just cancelling my indicator. And there's no problem because it is very predictable, this car. And that's what I love about it so much. You can look just so amazing. Just, you know, even got a little bit of driving experience, you can look great. But as one of my heroes once said, with great power comes great responsibility. And every time I sit in this beast, I do think that. So the next scene, what are we going to look at next? Well, I thought, let's just lower the tempo a bit. So I've decided to take someone out in the car that's never been in it before and just see how they react to the car. And this passenger is very, very good at absorbing G. You'll see that in a minute. And he is exceptionally good at leaning into corners. So he could be a motorcycle rider. And who is it? It's Rufus, of course. So just enjoy as Rufus goes for his first ride in the Ultima RS. Cheers. Good boy, and we're going the other way now. Lead. Yes, and we're going the other way again. Lead. Good boy. Yes, lead the other way. So how do you think he did? I thought Rufus was pretty impressive, actually. He was pretty relaxed in the car. And before there's any complaints, he had a harness on. You just couldn't see it. It was connected to the seat. But anyway. But there was a very funny bit where we pulled up some traffic lights and there was a car pulled up to our left. And obviously they looked in and all they could see was Rufus looking back out at them. Anyway. So the next scene I'm going to share with you is actually a scene I shared with you like 5 episodes ago, but I've had so many requests to show it again and so many questions and comments about it. It was when I took a young lady out in my car, and that lady was called Chris. And people assumed Chris was my wife, but no, Chris is my wife's auntie. So anyway, pull yourself another beer because you must have got through a couple by now, and just enjoy this footage again because every time I see it, it makes me smile.
Feels like a Batmobile.
Yeah,
with this.
It is.
Rounded wing, do you know what I mean?
So do you feel comfortable? Do you feel safe? I won't go fast, don't worry.
Do I feel safe? That's debatable.
Okay.
I've never had a strapping between the legs before.
There we go. Ooh. Right, got aircon on. Let's just keep you. Tell me if you're getting too cold or too hot.
Okay. Bloody hell!
There you go. Do you feel like you're in a racing car?
Yes, I do. I can see a tractor or something.
Yeah, I can get in front of the tractor maybe.
Whoa!
Sorry. You're right. Sorry about that. I had to get out.
That's great fun.
But it drives amazingly well. Really, really well. So here we go. You out. I'll get your shoes. What you do is you rotate it.
Oh.
Now,
oh, cool.
Yeah, that's quick release because
That is cool.
if it's on fire,
yeah,
that's what you need. So I will come over and get your shoes.
Oh yeah.
Chris, you're a star. Thank you so much. I must say, didn't even know I was recording her. But she wears her emotions on her sleeve. And that's exactly what I needed because in a way, that's what this car is about. It's about emotion and it really, really brings it out. And that brings me on to the next clip or series of little clips. This is more about me. Yeah, a bit selfish, I know. But all this footage I've been taking, driving footage, I'm always in the car. No one else is insured to drive it. It's me. So I'm driving the thing. But I wanted to hear what she sounded like on drive-bys at full RPM. Oh, it's the V8 thing again, isn't it? So what I did is went out with the missus one evening, quite late, and we were looking out on Salisbury Plain and we found a set of S's. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful set of S's. So I set her up with a tripod and recording equipment and I went off. Actually, someone came and said, had she broken down? Thank you if you're watching. Anyway, I come with the first flyby, and of course I wanted to keep the revs high, so I was in a pretty low gear, to be honest, because you have to be, because otherwise it would just been just insane velocities. My word, it made my blood curdle, the noise in that cabin. But what did she sound like outside? Listen to this. First time I watched the playback of that, I was just astounded. I really was. What came to my mind is something Verstappen said when he said Red Bull had built him a rocket ship. Looking at that footage, I've built myself a rocket ship. Shall we listen to it again? Go on. That's just mad. Anyway, here's a few more sort of scenes like that. I've put them together so you just can hear this V8. I won't put music over the top. I'll just leave it to sing for itself. Let's listen to the V8 Creative Ultima RS. For once, words escape me. I love this thing. Right, I've got one more scene to share with you. And it's the scene, it was actually in a previous episode, I can't remember which one, where I drive the RS for the first time. My reactions, other people's reactions. So just keep tuned and enjoy, and I'll be back with you in a minute. So, should we start her up? See what it sounds like? I'll probably blow the mic out, but there we go. So that's engine immobilizer disarmed, key in, ignition on. We can see the oil light and the charging lights on. Make sure she is in neutral, and let's go. Okay, right. Don't think, just do. Woohoo! Right, first drive. Wow. What a view. Take it easy. Pull him well. Oh, the steering is a delight. 5th, 6th, just taking her easy. I'm speechless. This machine was meant to go fast. Wow. Very supple on the suspension. Shall I do an overtake? It's the first time out. I can't help myself. Only if it's clear. Me! Woo-hoo! Oh, calm down. Calm down. Jesus. What a machine. So yes, here we are, last scene of the last part of the V8 Creative Ultima RS build, and what a journey it's been. 2.5 years, and thank you for following me all the way through. All the comments, all the questions, talking to me at shows, this has been epic. And yes, am I going to do something again? Of course I am. So keep tuned on the channel. We may have a little project first before another big one, but if you like what I do, keep tuned. Now, let's get back to the breaking news. She's for sale. Here's the email. Ping me an email. We can have a chat. And even as early as tomorrow, you could be standing in this garage looking around the RS, planning for it to be added to your collection. But anyway, email me and let's chat. So let's close things by doing what I usually do, by saying, enjoy your spannering and keep smiling. Until next time, enjoy.
I'm driving, you're smiling, just really doing nothing. That's the thing I like about you. On the highway, it's our way, Route 66, and we keep on driving. We just do what we wanna do. Yeah, no, nothing's complicated with you. Hey, playing songs on the radio, sing along to the words that we don't know how. Brings out the wild ones. 60. It's just the way that I get every time that I am with you. Your laughter takes me to heaven. I just wanna make you repeat it and repeat it again. Yeah, you make the sky so blue. No, nothing's complicated with you. Hey, playing songs on the radio, sing along to the words that we don't know how. Brings out the wild. Let's just run away. Yeah, I could drive the whole night long. Being with you is like being on the rodeo house. Brings out the wild. I got a little crush on you. On the highway, it's our way, Route 66, and we keep on driving. We just do what